A little over a year ago, I lost my spouse.
I lost my spouse.
A love
A love
story,
story,
marriage,
marriage,
relationship
relationship.
that spanned decades. Join us as we explore love, the journey of losing a spouse, and the process of finding ourselves. This is
The
the Widowhood
Widowhood
Story.
Story. Thank you for joining The Widowhood Story, a podcast created to honor our loved ones and to share our grief. I'm Lady, your host, and we have a guest here from Louisiana with us today. But before I bring her on, I would like to give you a widowhood fact. Um, I found out that there are like 11 million widows out there in America, and there's maybe 4 to 5 widowers in America. So I'm thinking we talk some parts of our session, we talk about would you ever remarry? Would you ever was about dating? So my advice, I'm just throwing a little advice out there for you guys. If you're thinking about remarrying, don't go to the Widow Hub social event because the chances are slim picking, especially when there's 11 million of us women and 4 to 5 million men. So I just want to put that out there. And with that being said, I want to take us to Louisiana to introduce our guest, Carolyn Brown. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself before you start your story, if you don't mind?
Good afternoon. My name is Carolynette Brown. Um, I'm a widow. I was with my husband 33 years prior to him passing. We have 2 kids. He has one of his own,
Mhm.
3 grandkids, and it was rough. He passed for medical reasons, but I mean, he had a lot of medical issues, but he passed peacefully in his sleep.
Oh, that's
So,
good.
yes. Other than that, I'm just living
Where'd you
day to day,
meet?
one day
Where'd
at
you
a
guys
time.
meet? Tell me a little bit about the love story. Where'd you guys meet? How long were you guys
So
together? All that.
we met in Destrehan.
Okay.
Um, I met him at a store in Destrehan, a little gas station,
Was he
should I
out
say?
just flirting or
And from
what?
there,
What's that? Was just flirting with you or
no,
what?
no,
Okay.
no, no, just I just met him,
Okay.
and that was my first time ever seeing him and us saying hello or whatever,
Uh-huh.
but not knowing that my brother dated this lady that lived next door to his mom. So
Hmm.
our more formal introduction came later, but we started seeing each other like maybe 2 years or so after the actual meet. It wasn't like a straight into something type of
Okay.
thing, but from there, I
So you
started
say
dating
so you
him.
guys say you bumped again 2 years later. Had you been seeing him in and out just in places?
Just been
Yes.
seeing him in and out, like
Okay.
from different areas, Kenner, St.
Okay.
Rose,
Okay.
just different areas. But again, I was at my brother's girlfriend house. Her
Oh,
mom
okay.
lives next door to his mom. And I was
Mhm.
there and he just popped up out of the house. And when we looked at each other like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
how you been coming over here all this time? And I never knew.
Hmm.
You never knew me. I never knew you. Never saw you. So just got numbers exchanged like because at that time it was not phone numbers, it was
Hmm.
beeper numbers.
Oh, pages. Okay. Yeah. Beepers and pages. Yeah. I
Right,
remember those.
it
Yeah.
was right, it was beeper numbers. So just exchanged numbers like that and we started talking and I never forget, I used to there was a payphone like down the street from my house, and I used to go at a certain time
Oh,
every night or whatever and talk to him on the payphone.
on the payphone. We don't
Because
know anything.
we
This,
didn't have,
this generation know nothing about the payphones or the landlines, any of that stuff, right? Yeah.
right, right. So, I mean, it just started from there. And then finally we went out and the rest is basically history. I mean, we went out maybe 2 or 3 times and we just started dating serious.
Okay.
And we actually dated, or we were together, I'm gonna say, 10 years prior to us getting
Yeah.
married. And
Wow.
yeah,
So you knew him 10 years before you even said I do.
correct.
So he must have been pretty cool because after 10 years you kind of get to know a whole lot about a person. So that must have
Correct.
been something
And that
special.
was the thing. That was
Yeah.
the thing. I just didn't I had seen so many of my friends just jump into a
Uh-huh.
marriage just because, everybody
Hmm.
thought that back in the day that was the right thing to do. You
Yeah.
meet somebody and before you go to doing this and doing that, you get married,
Yeah.
whatever, before even actually learning the person. So
Hmm.
I didn't want that same thing. I didn't want to be in a relationship, or should I say, in a marriage with someone that I didn't know.
Right. Right.
So I mean, he asked several times, but I just kept saying, "Not, it's not the right time. It's not the right time." So I can never forget. One day he told me after the second proposal, he
Oh,
said, "From
after
this
the
day
second, wait,
forward,
wait, wait, wait,
after
wait,
the
wait, wait. You said after the second proposal. That
after
means
the
he
second
proposed to you
proposal,
one time and you told him
yeah."
no?
I said, no. I said, you're not ready and I'm not ready either. And he
Okay.
just kept saying, so why are you saying that? I mean, we're together, we're doing the thing. I'm like, you're right, we are. But he had prior engagements. He had
Okay.
things that was on his plate prior to me.
Okay.
And I didn't want that to fold over into
Into,
our marriage.
mm-hmm.
And, I wanted everything to be in order, in
Yeah.
decency in order. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So he wasn't ready in my eyes. He wasn't ready. So the second time came around, he was a truck driver. So we were on the road, and he tells me we were going to Dallas or Houston, one of the two, but we're driving, and he says, um, I'm asking again, he said, and I hope this time, I get a different answer
Mm.
than I got before. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And we pulled over on the side of the road,
Oh
and
my
he turns
goodness.
around in the seat and he said, I think I'm ready. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
will you marry me? And I said, oh my God,
Look at
somebody.
you.
I was like, right now?
Like right
He
this
said, yeah,
minute, you
right now.
asking her.
Right. I'm like, why you chose this time? And he was like, are you gonna or are you not? And I said, look, and I just brought up some things that, he needed to take care of. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that I would never say yes, but this has to take place before we can go into a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, we had children. We had two kids by this time.
Both
We
of
had
you
a son and a
together.
daughter,
Together.
both of us together, yes.
Okay.
But I still didn't want him to marry me and somebody else's problems follow into our marriage because it's
Yeah.
supposed to be a sacred thing. So I wanted everything to be nothing's going to be perfect, but I wanted to
Right.
be better than what it was.
If
And
you know
and
better, you want to
so
do
when I
better,
told
right?
him that part, that
Mm-hmm.
part. So when I said I was like, I'm just not ready at this point. So he turned to me and he says, I tell you what, he said, I've asked you twice and I'm not going to ask you anymore. He said,
Oh.
we're in the 20 something century. He said, if you want to marry me, he said, you let me know. You ask me because I'm not asking you anymore. And I was
Mm.
like, okay. And I said, are you serious? He said, I'm serious, dead serious. I said, okay, no problem. So, like, maybe a year or so later, some things had progressed and he did take care of two of the three things that was mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. So I just woke up. I had been praying all along, like, Lord, is this the man for me?
Mm-hmm.
He does make me happy. He's a very good father. He does a lot of things for his mom. So I know if they say back in the day, if a man take care of his mom, he'll take care of his wife.
Yeah.
So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I said, I'm praying and I'm saying all of these things, like, Lord, if you see fit for this man to be for me, just mold him into the man that you see
Mm.
made for me. I don't want somebody else's man. I don't want somebody else's problems, whatever. I want
Right.
my own man.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I just kept on telling him like that. That next morning, I woke up. I jumped on top of him. I said, "Guess what?" He says, "What?" I said, "I said, I think I'm ready to get married." He was like, "What?" I said, "Would you marry me?" And he said, "Suppose I tell you no."
Oh,
So if I
see,
tell you no, I said, dude, if you tell me no, I said it's not gonna be good.
oh
So
no. You can tell
I
him
said,
no
you've been
two
asking
times,
me.
but you can't tell
Nah, but
him
you've been asking me all this time. I said, and if
yeah.
you tell me no, you told me when I'm ready to let you know, so I'm ready. So he was like, he said I wouldn't have it no other way. So
Oh
we
wow.
we talked about it that day,
Hmm.
and we planned a whole year,
Oh
and we got
really?
married that following year. Yes, and we
So
paid for our own wedding.
so even when he said I do, you guys still waited a year to get to finish it out. Oh wow.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. And we had been together at that point 10 years
Mm.
before we got married.
Wow.
So when we got married, I always did tell him, I said, because people used to say, "Oh, you got the good one." His mom had six boys,
Okay.
and they would always tell me, "You got the good one." So I would always tell him, that he was a mama's boy. I said every time something happened, is my mama, my mama, my mama. I said, look, he said, when we get married, it's gonna be us. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
They say that the man leaves his mom and his father, and he clings to his wife. I said, and that's what I'm asking for. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a relationship with your mom. I would never tell you that. But at the
Hmm.
same time, I want to be I want our household to be led the way it's supposed to. Man, well, God, man, wife, and then the children, your family fall in place. And he was like, "You're right." So that's the way it went. I mean,
And now, did you have a
we,
pretty
we
good relationship with your in-laws, your mother-in-law, or your brother-in-laws and stuff?
so in the beginning, no. In the beginning, not with my mother-in-law, no. But I mean, as time went on, things got better. And then when he passed, she and I just got really close.
Oh wow.
But I always did have a relationship with my brother-in-laws. I always
Hmm.
did from day one.
Hmm.
We always got together. We used to do a lot. Excuse me. We used to do a lot of different things at our house. Like we would have crawfish balls and barbecues, and we just did something all the time. We were outdoor people, so we would go trail riding, and we would do stuff like go crawfishing and crabbing, and we just used to do a lot of different things, so we always had something going on, so they would always be at our house, and it just turned into one big happy family. I mean,
Oh,
we
that's good.
always were together.
That's really good. And so, did your family also on your side of family? Did they like him? Was that a good relationship, or what? How
Of
was
course.
that?
Well, I only have one brother.
Okay.
I have one brother, and my mother has a goddaughter that I'm very very close with. So
Hmm.
that's my sister. But
Hmm.
I mean, other than that, no. But my family just open arms to him because we
Oh,
had been together since I was 18, 19 years old. So yeah,
wow.
everybody was open arms.
And so now that he's been passed, how long? How many years?
So February 1st will be 4 years.
4 years. And do you still wear your ring? Did you take your ring off right away? How did that go?
No. So when he first passed, I was like, okay, Hurricane Ida happened, and my husband passed 5 months after Hurricane Ida.
Mm-hmm.
Um, After getting my house back in order, and because our house got damaged really, really bad,
Hmm.
so we were living in a trailer, a FEMA trailer, like on our land, on our
Hmm.
property, like right next door to the house or whatever. But
Hmm.
once the house got situated, we it was time to like move certain things back into the house, and we lost a lot of stuff, so it was like a lot of things had gone to the trash and all of that stuff anyway because
Wow.
they were messed up from
Hmm.
the storm. But the things that we could salvage, I was like, okay, should I bring them back inside? I was like torn between, is it too soon to just get rid of his things, or should I
Hmm.
be bringing them back into the house? And I just again prayed, and I'm like, Lord, you know, you know my heart, and that man was really good to me,
Hmm.
and I would never forget him. I don't care what the situation is, I would never forget him. But I didn't want to allow that to take over my life, because at the same time, I know he wouldn't want me to just lay down and waddle in his death.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We talked. I mean, he, like I said, he was a dialysis patient, so we did dialysis at home every day, Monday through Friday, and
Was he a
I
dialysis
did
when
his
you first
dialysis.
got with him, or it came later on in your relationship?
No, it came later on. It
Okay.
came later on. He
Mm-hmm.
was before he died, he was on dialysis like 9 years before he died.
Oh wow.
So
Mm-hmm.
but like I said, I knew that that wasn't what he would have wanted me to do, because when
Mm-hmm.
he first got down sick, he had become turned from this sweet, sweet person to like mean, because he was basically trying to push me away, telling me to go
Oh.
and get somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And, because he wasn't able to take care of me in the way that
Mm-hmm.
he promised God. And, it was just a lot of different things,
Yeah.
a lot of different emotions that came from it. But,
And you knew
you
that's
know,
what it was,
as I
right? You
explained,
knew.
of course, of
Yeah.
course. And I just told him one day, this lasted about 3 months or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. But I just told him one day, I said, look, enough is enough. I said, I've been with you all of these years. And I told you in the beginning that if we were to get married, it was till death do us part.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
God put me here for a lot of reasons. And this is so crazy, because earlier today, I was just talking to Clara and some of my cousins, and I was telling them the same thing, that when he and I got together, I always wanted a very good man. I always wanted
Mm-hmm.
to somebody that was just compassionate and loving, and loved me not just emotionally but spiritually, and that we were just in
Mm-hmm.
tune to one another. I didn't want just to have a man in my life just to say I have a man in my life. And I didn't want
Mm-hmm.
one that every time things got bad they just up and ran. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like I told him, we were made to be together.
Wow.
God put us together and we were made to be together. And it
Mm-hmm.
just it hurts now, because I thought I was gonna grow old with this man, but God saw
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's really hard. I have my days. I have my days, but for the most part, I'm good, because
Mm-hmm.
I am a praying person, and
Mm-hmm.
I trust and believe that God has something else in store for me. What, I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just hoping and praying through meeting different people that, again, he just mold whomever he
Yeah.
have for me into
Yes.
the person that he wants them to be for me. I don't want to just jump into something. And
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong, I've dated since he passed, and
Mm-hmm.
I just like basically took off the ring, like, and stopped wearing it like a month ago, because it is
Oh,
so
really?
funny.
Just a month ago. So it's been over 3 years.
Yeah, just
Okay.
maybe a few months ago. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
say it, not just a month. It's been a
Yeah.
few months, but I just stopped wearing the ring. But I never forget. I told my son, I said, it's so crazy. He was like, "You're forgetting about my daddy." I said, I could never forget 33 years. I said,
Mm-hmm.
everything around me, everything that's in my life, it revolves right back to your dad. So I could never forget. But I was sleeping one night, and one morning I woke up, I have a whelp across my chest. Couple of weeks pass, I wake up, I got a whelp across my face. And this, all of this never happened before. And this same ring, this was like the third set that he had ever bought me in
Mm-hmm.
the 33 years. But it had never happened like that before, and all of a sudden I'm getting beat up, and I'm wondering, like, what is
Oh.
all of these marks and stuff coming
Mm-hmm.
from? It was coming from the ring. So I was like, Lord, I said, is this your way of telling me that it's time to just put it down? You know what I'm saying? How
Mm-hmm.
am I gonna be able to move forward if I keep holding on to the past? And
Yeah.
I found myself in that time frame, like judging, not basically judging, but like looking for the same type of man in other people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I explain to my kids, I don't want a man just like your dad. I want a man that's better than him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
so I stopped wearing my ring, because I was like, maybe that's a sign. And I've been good. like I said, I have my moments, but for the most part, every day I go by every day with no problems. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just pray and keep moving.
Oh,
Ask
good.
God to just give me strength.
So you talked about that you had moved your clothing, moved his stuff, kind of like after the hurricane, you was kind of back and forth. So did you just kind of get rid of all his stuff overall, pretty much after that hurricane stuff and all that, or what?
So, so basically, like all of his clothes and stuff like that. Yeah, all of his clothes, yes. But like sentimental things,
Hmm.
no.
Okay.
And I still have them till today. So this was a question from one guy that I was dating.
Hmm.
I had, you know how you have all of the little stuff like from the from the services or from the repast or whatever,
Right.
like
Hmm.
the bow tie with his pictures and all of that stuff on, and I had a sweatshirt that was in my car on the passenger seat. So I never forget the guy got in the car with me one day and we're getting ready to go to the store right down the street. But he set up in the car. He would not sit back on the sweatshirt. And
Oh.
I had a bow tie or whatever across the rearview mirror. So he says, I said, what's wrong? Because he's a tall guy. So I was like, what's wrong? And I said, sit down. He said, I'm sitting down. I said, well, sit back. What you doing? And he was like, oh, I didn't want to just be disrespectful and
Oh.
sit back on the man or whatever. And I was like, dude, I said, it's just a sweatshirt. His picture is on it, but it's just a sweatshirt. He's in my heart, you know? So he asked me the question, like, do you ever see yourself if somebody else was to come into your life, do you ever see yourself like, putting away the things
Hmm.
that you display for your husband? And I said, okay, I said, which I'm not at that point. This is what
Hmm.
I'm telling him. I said, I'm
Hmm.
not at that point. I said, but if God was to send the right man into my life, I said, I'm just gonna be totally honest. I will never get rid of anything for him. I'll buy a keepsake box and I'll put things away, but I will never
Hmm.
dispose of things that are sentimental to me
Yeah.
because almost everything that I have, the jewelry that I wear, you know what I'm saying? The some of the clothes that, I have, a
Hmm.
lot of them got messed up, but a lot of them didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's just a part of everything, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
Hmm.
no, I can't say I'll displace all of the things or do away with all of the things or whatever
Hmm.
because I get somebody else. I said, nah, I'm willing to put them away, but I'm not gonna ever just throw them out. I would
Yeah.
never do that because it wouldn't sit right with me.
What about his ring? What did you do with his ring?
I still have it.
Okay. You
I
just
still
keep
have
it.
it.
Okay.
I
But
still have it.
I think that was good though, how the guy respected it. I mean, you had his picture there in your car seat. That was really good. He could have just disrespected and just got in there, but it sounds like he realized that that meant something to you, and so he was kind of respecting you by the kind of
Right,
not sitting back on it. That was good, I think.
right.
Hmm. That was good.
I,
Do you
I agree.
did you have dreams or kind of appearances or visions or thoughts when he passed away of him still being around? How was that for you?
So many of times, like not in our bedroom because, like I said, when Hurricane Ida happened, it messed up my house. So
Hmm.
the bed that's in my house, like mattresses and all of that stuff, we went prior to him passing, and we got this bed that raises up because he wasn't able to lie flat, being that
Uh-huh.
he was on dialysis. He would always feel like he was drowning or whatever if he laid down flat. So we went and purchased this bed and paid a lot of money for this bed
Hmm.
that it rises up in the back, like your head rises, your feet rise, and all of this kind of stuff. But he never had a chance to sleep in it.
Oh, really?
He died 5 months after Hurricane Ida, so he never had a chance to sleep in this bed.
Oh, wow.
So it's like sleeping on the sofa. I fall asleep a lot on the sofa.
Hmm.
So I can, like, you know how you get, the old folks used to say when somebody is in your presence that them passed, you get a cold chill or whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I have felt that. I felt that a
Mm-hmm.
few times. And being that my mom passed a few years prior to him, I don't know who it is, whether it's him or whether it's
One
her.
or the
So
other, huh?
right, so I would always, because with the both of them, they're with me. So I
Mm-hmm.
would always say, okay, I love you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wow.
All right, I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
get it, and I thank y'all for watching over us. So
Yeah.
just rest in peace. And I would say my prayers and just go to sleep
And would you ever dream about him?
all the time.
Oh, okay.
I
And
I could I have dreamed and woke up with me talking,
to
like
him?
basically answering him. He would
Oh,
say something to me or whatever, and I would wake up with me answering him.
oh
And
wow.
then I look around and I'm like, oh my God, he's not here. And I never forget. And I'm gonna tell you this the weird story. After my husband passed,
Mhm.
I just it was really bad for me. Um, so at work, the type of work that I do, I work with people all day, every day. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Different people all the time. So if I'm not mentally stable, then how can I give myself to someone else?
Right.
How can I help somebody else, help talk somebody else through and calm them and all if I'm not my own self? So
Mhm.
I took a leave of absence from work and I went and did contract work, and I was actually in Las Vegas. So I'm in Las Vegas and I'm catching a lift. The Not Uber, what the other one is. It is Lyft, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so I'm catching a lift and the lady picks me up. I'm on my way to work. So she picks me up. We on our way out of the subdivision and she says, have you ever heard of a mediator?
Mm.
Something like a medium. A
Mhm.
medium is what she said. So I said, uh, I've heard of it, yeah. So I said, why? And she says, I don't mean to scare you, but I just wanted to just share something with you. And I said, okay. So I'm sitting here and now, I'm looking at her, but through the rearview mirror, I'm looking at her face, but I'm also like in my phone, not really, I'm getting ready to go to work, so I'm not trying to hear all of that. So,
Mhm.
so she says, um, somebody that was very important to you just recently passed. So when she said that, of course, my
Oh,
eyes are buck
yeah.
now, and I'm looking in the rearview mirror at her like,
Mhm.
okay. And she says, I just want you to know that this person meant a lot to you and they're here with you. And I was like, what? She said, yeah, they're here with you. She said, they wanted you to know that it's okay for you to move on with your
Mhm.
life. They wouldn't want you to suffer. They wouldn't want you to just lay down and forget about life and just let life take over you because of them passing. So I
Mhm.
was like, okay. So she said, he. So when she said he again, I look up in the rearview mirror and she was like, yeah. She said, he can't go all the way over. He's like stuck in the middle. He can't cross all the way over because he's a word that you're not allowing him to go. And I said, what? She says, in order for him to be able to go and be at peace, you have to be at peace. You got to let him go. And I said, okay. And she said, no, I'm serious. I said, okay. So she was like, you guys were together a very long time. No, she didn't say together. She said he was a part of your life for a very long time. I said, yes. And she said, it's time for you to just breathe, live your life, and let him go. And I broke down crying and I was like, you know what? I said, God, I have been like going through different things, going to see a counselor and all of this other stuff.
Mhm.
And I made up in my mind, the counselor had given me all kind of medicine to take and all this here, like, oh, take this if you're feeling this kind of way, this if you're feeling
Mhm.
kind of that kind of way. He just was telling me all of this different stuff. and he's telling me that I'm severely depressed and all that. I said, no, I'm just missing my husband. And
Mm,
he's like, okay. So he gave me all of these questions and answers. I gave him back, and in the end, that was his determination that I was severely depressed. So I was like, okay. So my thought was, prior to me going to Vegas, I was like, I just can't believe that God would bring me to this position in my life and leave me.
mm-hmm,
I have never had to take pills to go to sleep and to be able to function every day and all of that stuff. So I know he didn't bring me this far to leave me.
mm-hmm,
So when she told me this, I'm like, I just prayed about this and I was asking God, like, you need to show me that my life is greater than where I am right now, and I know you didn't bring me this far to leave me. And when she
mm-hmm,
told me all of these different things, I was like, wow. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, this is the answer. He's showing me through this lady that no, I didn't bring you this far to leave you, and that
mm-hmm.
you are supposed to continue living your life. Because I'm young, you know what I'm saying? I'm not an old lady. I don't even look like an old lady
Right, you
to
definitely
be,
don't. Yeah, to be
you know,
widowed, huh? To be widowed, right?
right, right.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. I said, thank you, God. And when I got ready to get out the car, I told the lady, I said, thank you very much. I said, I really appreciate it. And she was like, just do yourself a favor and just live. And
Mm-hmm.
I just promised myself from that day to this one that I would do that. And that's what I've been doing.
And
I
what does that
travel.
look like for you? Oh, you say you travel. What else? Okay, that's
hmm
good.
I travel. So I do a girls trip every year with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I do a cousins trip with my cousins, and
Mm-hmm.
I go to see my sister. She comes to see me. Just
Yeah,
I just live. I
good.
go to work every day, and I try my best, even on my bad days or whatever. I still try to smile because you never know who's watching and you
Yeah.
never know who else may need that same smile that you give. But I also tell my kids, like, you just because you see me smiling and you see me moving on, it doesn't mean that I'm not still feeling or
Mhm.
going through my own stuff as far as losing my husband is concerned, because my son was very, he was like on that, like, oh Lord, I can't believe you just moving on with your life. You just forgot him. No, I haven't forgot him, and I never will.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I can't just lay down in it either.
And he wouldn't want you to do that. Definitely.
And,
He
and that's what
wouldn't
I
want
explained to
you.
him. So after we talked about it, then he then come back and he tells me, he was like, Mama, he say, I'm just want to tell you, my daddy told me prior to, like, maybe 2 years prior to him passing, that he wanted you to be happy. That's
Oh,
all he ever
wow.
wanted, was for you
Really?
to be happy.
So he
When you
told you
were,
that.
yeah, he said, he told him that. He told my
Mm-hmm.
son
But
that.
he shared it with
And
you.
I told
Mm-hmm.
you, like, right. So my son was like, he said, I was being selfish or whatever when I said, that you were just forgetting about my dad or whatever. But he was like, he wouldn't have wanted you to be unhappy. He said that's what gave him joy, seeing you happy. And my husband was the type of person where if we were to go someplace or whatever, and I see something or I say something about me wanting to go someplace, he made
Mm-hmm.
it happen.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was like a miracle. He
Mhm.
always made it happen.
He made it happen, huh?
Always. So
He
people would
made it
always say,
happen.
"Oh, you spoil." Yeah, they
Yeah.
would always tell me that man have you spoiled. And my thing was, I'm not spoiled. I'm blessed
Yeah.
because
There you go.
you know, yeah,
Absolutely.
he was a good man,
How old are your children?
very good man.
How old
So
are
I
they?
have
30.
a 32-year-old and a 34-year-old. My
So
my
they're
daughter's
completely
32 and my
grown,
son's
living their
34.
own life, right?
Yes, ma'am.
They should want you to have your own life, right?
Yes, ma'am.
This is
Yes, ma'am.
good. And so when they
Yes,
passed away,
ma'am.
so 4 years ago, they were fully grown even then, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. You
So
have
my,
any
my son said
grandchildren?
he made a promise. Three.
Three grand. Okay.
I have one boy, and that's the only thing that I feel bad about, because he wasn't here to be able to experience the love and the attention that my husband gave to the girls. So
Yeah.
I have a 9-year-old granddaughter and a 6-year-old granddaughter, and he had them spoiled rotten. these kids used to do all types of stuff to him. They used to polish his toenails and put
Oh,
makeup on his face, and
really?
he would lay right there. I'm
You,
serious. And whatever it
oh
took, he
God.
would get them, and they would sit in a chair and they would
Yeah.
sing songs, and he just whatever it took to make them happy, he did it. He did it, and he
Wow.
said that's what kept him going.
He's a good guy, good
So
grandpa and everything, huh?
yes,
Sounds really
yes,
good.
very good
So,
man.
so I imagine there's just a loss for everybody, the grandkids, the
It
kids,
really
everybody,
is.
huh?
It
Mm-hmm.
really is. And it's so crazy. This little my little grandson, he's
Mm-hmm.
2. But the older he gets, he looks more and more like my husband. Some
Really?
things he do, yes. Some things he do, you gotta look at him and like, okay, because he acts certain things he
Yeah.
say and the looks that he give, it's like, man, this man is reincarnated.
Oh,
Because this
wow.
baby,
Right
yes, I'm so
there.
serious. Yes,
Yeah. So
yes.
when you spoke with the medium and you had been praying to God, so when that happened, were you able to release and kind of start moving forward?
From that day, I was like, Lord, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because I had
Yeah.
been like, they would. I'm old school, so they would always tell you, like, you got to keep on keeping on,
Yeah.
and you got to
Yeah.
pray, and you got to wait on God to
Wait
answer
on
you.
God.
'Cause He
Mm-hmm.
don't always answer when we want him, but he always answer on time. So
What
I
he
was like, okay. So when this happened, that was months and months later, and I was like, wow, okay. So I just prayed and I was like, Lord, I
mm-hmm.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And every time I start feeling a certain kind of way,
Mm-hmm.
I just pray and I still cry right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't cry all the time, but
Yeah.
when it hit me, certain thing, it could be a song that I'm listening to. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I could just hear him because he was a music type of person and he
Oh, he loved
always
music. Mm.
yes, he always clowned around and he loved to dance and we would get into our house and we would cook together, we would dance in the kitchen and like it's just crazy. I after he passed, I never even knew this video exists until after he passed. My daughter-in-law sent me a video with him and I dancing in the kitchen.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness. Was he
we
a
were
cook or
singing and
did
dancing.
you guys was he a cook or did you
So
guys both cook?
he was an experimenter.
Oh, experiment. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he knew how to do basic stuff, but like when he did get in the kitchen, I never liked him to cook by himself because I clean as I go.
Okay.
When he get in the kitchen by himself, everything has its own. Oh God,
He's
he
a
would
messy
use
cook, right? Messy, just
very,
yeah.
very,
Oh wow.
very.
But was the
So,
food good? Was the
oh
food
yeah,
good?
and
Okay.
it's so crazy. It would look weird, but it always
Okay.
tastes good.
It
He'd
looked
be like,
funny, huh?
try this. Yeah, try this. Always talking about try this. And
hmm
I'm one, I would always like when it come down to chicken, I always when we would go to grocery shop and stuff, we would always buy stuff in bulk because we bought to make sure that the children had, make
hmm
sure our freezers were full. Like
Oh
when
wow.
company come over, we didn't have to run and go get anything. We would just pull it
hmm
out the freezer, let it thaw out, clean it up, put it on a grill, fry it,
hmm
whatever. We like I said, we were outdoorsy people, so we grilled and we fried foods and all of that stuff outside. We boiled and all of that stuff, but we always had it at home. We didn't have to
hmm
go run to get it.
hmm
So he was one. I would clean the stuff prior to putting it away, but
hmm
when I get ready to use it, I clean it again. And he was like, "Man, you gonna clean all of the nutrients and stuff away from the stuff."
Okay.
So I'd be like, "Did you clean that?
Yeah.
Like, why you keep
Yeah.
asking me that?" But he was just a messy cook,
But he was a
messy,
good
messy cook.
cook, but it was good. It
He
was
would
the
cook,
food
and
was
it
good.
always came out good. But he
Uh-huh.
was a very man. The cleaning up afterward was horrible,
Yeah.
horrible.
So so after maybe a year or 6 months after he had been passed away, did you feel more lonely or you felt alone? Did you feel both? How did that feel for you? Like he's
Oh,
not here
lonely,
because
and
you've been with him for so even right now, you still feel
even
lonely.
right now,
hmm
lonely,
Yeah.
lonely,
You miss him a
and
lot still, huh?
oh my God, man, you would never understand how much
hmm
because again, you look for the same entities in another man,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're not there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not there.
But I almost think it's not fair for the other guy if you start dating, and that's the thing about the
And that's the
dating.
problem. And
Yeah,
that's why I said I pray and I ask God to just give me strength, because I don't want to judge another
yeah.
man for the things that he did, the way he did them. And you know what I'm saying? I don't want to look at it like that. But that's how I mean, it just happened that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to be that way, but things have gotten better with me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look at everybody and be like, "Oh, not my type." But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't do
Wow.
that anymore. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's like still I'm looking for all of the good things, and
Yeah.
and I also know what I like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, okay, I don't want to just change everything about me to change to somebody that I'm not to
Yeah.
please someone else either.
But the thing about this guy, he sounded like he was a great guy even from the beginning, but it took him two, really three turns almost before you agreed to marry him. So
Yeah,
you're not gonna just jump in with someone else that easily. I know that for sure, right?
correct,
They're gonna have to be pretty special,
man. I'm
really
telling you,
special. I don't know, guys, step up to you. It may not, yeah, it's gonna be hard, right?
it's hard.
Yeah,
It's
it's gonna be
hard
hard.
because again, and my thing, I think in the beginning, because I used to just be I've learned to be more humble. I'm gonna say that.
Okay,
I've
okay.
learned to be more humble because at first I would be like, look, I got I'm already stable.
Yeah,
I'm not looking for somebody to
take care of you.
elevate me and all of this here kind of stuff. I'm already stable. I work every day. I take care of myself. I live a fairly decent life, but at the
Hmm.
same time, I'm not about to take care of a man.
Yeah.
And you're not going to come and step in on something that he has put in place for me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you're not situated your
Yeah.
own self. I just can't do that. So I found myself in the beginning, like, I would say, I hope you don't think that I'm running you away by saying this, but I just have to get it off my chest because
Hmm.
I don't want to waste your time, nor do I want you wasting mine.
Yeah. And you just let them know what's up, right? What you will and won't tolerate.
It, and that's it. I just feel that it needs to be laid on the table because I mean, and my children like you too picky. No, I'm not picky. But again, I mean, you got so many men out here now that they don't go by the old folk
Yeah.
rules and regulations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things are just totally different, and they look for somebody that they can prey on. So I just make it my business to stipulate in the beginning
Hmm. Hmm.
what we're doing, and we're not going to do this and that. And I don't think is wrong to say that, he established this for me.
Hmm.
So I'm not going to allow you to come in and just lay up on it. You
Absolutely.
got to come
Absolutely.
to the table. I'm bringing it to the table. You got to come to the table with yours as well. So I mean,
So
if
sounds like
somebody feel
he
ill about it, I don't care.
it sounds like he was always making sure that he took care of you, whatever you needed. You always had what you
Always,
needed. So with
always.
you guys party together, dance together, you ate food together, you had fun together, you traveled together. Of all of those things, I know it's hard to think of. Can you think of one that just bothers you the most with him not being there? I know there's probably a lot, but what is the one area that you miss him
It
the
is
most if you could pick, and if you could
us cuddling and
cuddling?
him telling me all the time how much he loved me.
Wow. Yeah.
He used to tell me, "Oh, you get on my nerve, but I love you." And he didn't
Wow.
say it in that form, but he used to tell me
Hmm.
all the
Hmm.
time.
So that just him being there holding and cuddling with you, huh? That's
Yes,
hard. It's
yes.
hard.
It's crazy how you learn, with life you grow to think that intimacy is all about sex, and it's not. And I,
Right.
I didn't learn the
Right.
true meaning of intimacy until 5 years prior to him passing.
Oh,
And
really?
I learned just a intimate kiss on the forehead,
Uh-huh.
us laying on the sofa cuddling together, and him holding me and kissing me on my shoulder, or,
Yeah.
or him walking up and just kissing me on the back of my neck or something like that. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? The true intimacy
Yeah.
is what I learned prior to him leaving, other than just sex.
Yeah.
And
And those
I think
moments are
that
more
in
precious,
itself,
probably, right?
and that's what I was just about to say. It did so much for me, like prior to him leaving me. It
Yeah.
did so much for me because I always knew he loved me, but I
Mm-hmm.
never knew to what extent,
Yeah.
to
Wow.
that great extent, I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm. Sounds really good. So financially, did that become an issue once he passed? Because I know sometimes finances get because you can cut in half or whatever. How are you financially? Is it?
So prior to him passing, he used to get up every day. This man had diabetes. He was a dialysis patient,
Mm-hmm.
but we had done put together different little things and had a little lawn service put in place and all, and he used to get up and go cut grass and all of that stuff every
Wow.
single day,
Oh.
no matter how bad he felt, no matter how his leg hurt, because he had neuropathy in his legs. And
Mm-hmm.
prior to him passing, he had a like a little halo on his leg where his ankle was broken, like basically shattered, and he
Oh,
didn't even
wow.
know. Walked on it 8 months and didn't
You
even know.
never knew,
But
really?
he no, but he would get up every day and go make some kind of money, some kind of way. He would get up and go get it every day. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So that in itself let me know that if he could do it, I know I can. You know, I can just keep on pushing on. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had insurance, so I wasn't one of
Mm-hmm.
those people, thank God, that had to go in and do fish fry or
Mm-hmm.
have to ask people to put money in a GoFundMe and
Mm-hmm.
all of that stuff. But like prior to him passing, I became the breadwinner. So
Mm-hmm.
I had an account that we had for years. I used to put an allowance in it for him
Really?
to make
Okay.
just so he didn't have to feel like he was less than a man to have to always come and ask me for things.
Right.
I just
Mm-hmm.
felt it was my duty to take care of my husband the way that he always took care of me.
Yeah, absolutely. So by that being you in charge, kind of, it didn't really matter. It didn't make a difference at all then for you once you passed financially
Right.
because you were able to take care of
Right.
yourself. So
And
that's
I just thank God that he didn't kept my head above water and he just continuing to
yeah.
keep me above water. Because people always say, well, you still live in that house? Why you still live in that big old house by yourself? Because this is something that we encountered, we got together. We worked
Mm-hmm.
and we got it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I mean, if God gave it to us, he gonna keep me with it. That's the way
Yeah.
I
Why
look at
should
it.
you leave it, right? You can afford to live there. Why not live
And
there, right?
I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer. It's a true blessing. We are in here by the grace of God.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we got in here by the grace of God.
So I feel like this is almost like a memorial honoring him. Could you say, do you mind saying his first and last name kind of like as a closing? Because I think this is really good. I can tell you're still very strongly connected to him. What's his first and last name?
Oh, I love my husband, Kevin
Yeah.
Michael Ball Sr.
Kevin Michael Bose Sr. Thank you. And can you tell me
Ball,
about
Ball.
Ball, Kevin with a K I C?
Yeah, with the K. Kevin
Kevin Michael
Michael
Ball
Ball Sr.
Sr. Thank you. Can you tell me
Yes,
about your name? Because your name is very unusual and beautiful. It's Carol Lynn Lynette. Carol and Lynette. Say it for
Carol
me.
Lynette.
Carol. Is
Carol
it like two
is
names,
Carol
kind of
Lynette.
two people?
One name, 11 letters,
You know, and were you
and
named
it
after
it actually
anybody?
came from family members.
Okay. What?
Yes,
So what was it? Carolyn and then
yes,
Lynette?
Carolyn. Yes, Carolyn,
Okay.
and she was a cousin, school teacher.
Okay.
She was basically somebody that my mom looked up to,
Oh wow. That's good.
and she's still here for me right now.
Thank you. Anything you want to say before we close out? I really appreciate your story. It was very intriguing. I
Whatever happens in life, if you lose somebody, just always carry them in your heart and your thoughts, and just keep on praying and keep on moving. God
because
gonna do the rest.
yeah, you're absolutely right.
Pray
Thank you.
and never lose faith.
Pray and never lose faith, right? Thank you. Have a good day, and we will hope.